Her father tucked her in at night, then locked the door for 24 years. Sometimes, evil doesn't wear a mask. Sometimes, it wears slippers, sits at the dinner table, smiles, tells jokes. Sometimes, it kisses its daughter goodnight, then locks the door behind her. For 24 years. Spring 2008, Amstetten, Austria. A pale woman enters a hospital, cradling a frail teenage girl, barely clinging to life. The girl's skin is ghost-like. No sun has touched it in years. She's emaciated, dying. The woman says her name, and a nurse stops breathing. Elisabeth Fritzl. She vanished in 1984, a missing teen, presumed dead. But she never left. She was never lost. She had been trapped buried alive under her own home. Less than 10 feet beneath the family's kitchen, inside a soundproof bunker built by her father. And for 24 years, no one knew. Not her neighbors, not her siblings, not even her own mother. Because the man who built her prison was the man who raised her. The 28th of August, 1984. Elisabeth was 18 years old, quiet, soft-spoken, a little rebellious, but mostly obedient. That morning, she made breakfast with her mother. Her father, Josef Fritzl, asked her for help in the basement, said he needed her to help carry a door. She followed him down the steps and never came back up. Hours passed. Her mother panicked. She called friends. Then police. A search began. Then, a few days later, a letter arrived. Written in Elisabeth's handwriting, she claimed she'd run away, joined a religious cult, didn't want contact. Authorities believed it. The case went cold. But the letter was a lie. Written by Josef himself. He had been planning this for years. He designed and built a secret underground chamber, reinforced concrete, a steel door with an electronic keypad, thick walls, hidden beneath a shelf in the workshop. That morning, he lured her down, drugged her, and sealed the door. Then, he went upstairs, Saturday with his wife, drank coffee, while his daughter screamed in the dark below. The cellar, her world of nothing. When Elisabeth woke up, she was chained to a metal post, her mouth gagged. The walls were gray concrete, no windows, no clocks, no sound. Just the cold buzz of fluorescent lights and the smell of dampness, metal, and fear. Josef told her the door was wired with electricity, that if she tried to escape, she'd be gassed. He said if she disobeyed, her family upstairs would die. She believed him. What else could she do? He returned each day, at first to feed her, then to abuse her. He forced her to watch pornographic films, then forced her to recreate them. If she resisted, he hit her, not in anger and routine. Every session was the same. Then he left, locked the door, took the world with him. Time dissolved. Elisabeth marked the wall with scratches, counting days. But eventually, even time broke. No sunlight, no voices, no future, just silence. And above her, the world continued. Birthdays, dinners, vacations. Her life was gone, but her body remained. And Josef wasn't done with it yet. A father's obsession turns to children. The first pregnancy ended in blood. Elisabeth miscarried at 10 weeks, lying on the floor, cramping, sobbing. Josef watched, told her to do better next time. And next time came. In 1988, Elisabeth gave birth to her first child, Kirsten. No doctor, no anesthesia, no assistance. Just a towel, a pair of scissors, and a medical textbook thrown through the door. She bled for hours, but survived. Then came Stefan in 1990. Then Lisa. Then Monica. Alexander. Michael. Felix. 7 children, born in darkness. Raised in a room 20 feet long, 10 feet wide, 5'6" high. No sky, no fresh air, no school. They bathed in plastic buckets, learned from Elisabeth, who clung to old-school memories to teach them ABCs and numbers. They played with scraps, drew on walls with chalk, sang lullabies to distract from the hunger. But it was never enough. In 1996, baby Michael, a twin, fell sick, gasping for air, blue-lipped. Elisabeth begged Josef to help. He refused. Michael died in her arms. Josef took the body, burned it in the furnace, never spoke of him again. 1 child dead, 6 remained, but the cage felt smaller every day. A family above, a secret below. By the mid-90s, the dungeon was overcrowded. Noise traveled. Neighbors lived just a few yards away. So Josef made a decision, selected the quietest children, and brought them upstairs. He told his wife, Rosemarie, that Elisabeth had left them on the doorstep, said the cult wouldn't let her raise them. Each child came with a forged letter, and later cassette tapes recorded in Elisabeth's voice. Rosemarie believed every word. She raised Lisa, then Monica, then Alexander, thinking they were abandoned. She never asked where Josef disappeared to at night, or why the basement had a keypad lock. Josef told her he was tinkering. Neighbors called him a kind old man. Churchgoers saw him every Sunday. He paid taxes, maintained the yard, attended family dinners. No one knew he spent his nights 3 feet from hell. By 2008, Kirsten was 19 years old. She had never seen the sky. Then one day, her body began to shut down. Her skin turned gray, her lips cracked, her eyes rolled, blood poured from her mouth. She was dying, fast. Elisabeth dropped to her knees, pleaded with Josef. "She'll die if you don't help her." He hesitated, not because he cared, but because a dead body means questions. So he carried Kirsten upstairs, dressed her in borrowed clothes, left her at the hospital with a forged note. "I belong to a religious group. I can no longer care for my daughter. Please help her." Doctors were horrified. The girl was in organ failure, malnourished, and then her blood work revealed something even worse. A rare genetic disorder, one only seen in cases of incest. The note didn't explain that. Police got involved. Josef panicked, but it was too late. Elisabeth appeared at the hospital the next day, wearing sunglasses, a hoodie, with 2 of her children beside her. A nurse recognized her immediately. They thought she was a ghost, but she was very much alive. At first, she said nothing. She flinched when anyone got close. Then, a detective leaned in and whispered, "He'll never touch you again." That night, Elisabeth spoke. For hours, she told everything. The gas threats, the beatings, the rapes, the births, the lies. The sound of the steel door locking 8,642 times. And when she finished, no one in the room could speak. The monster is caught. The 27th of April, 2008. Josef Fritzl was arrested. He didn't fight, didn't beg. He just sat there. Police raided the home. Behind the workbench in the basement, they found the hidden door. Past the shelves' concrete tunnels, steel gates, a labyrinth of cruelty. Inside, old toys, dirty bedding, a 1,992 calendar on the wall, and a diary written by Elisabeth. It wasn't a story. It was a confession of suffering, page after page. 8,642 days. More than 3,000 assaults. 1 dead child. 7 born into captivity. Freedom comes too late. The children half feral were taken outside for the first time. They shielded their eyes from the sun, covered their ears at traffic. The world was too big, too loud, too bright. Josef confessed, not because he regretted, but because the truth was already out. He was sentenced to life in prison. He now lives in solitary confinement. But for Elisabeth, the sentence continues. Therapy, isolation, memories that don't fade. Even freedom tastes strange when you've forgotten how to breathe fresh air. Today, Elisabeth lives under a new name, in a secure location. Her children are grown-some, have chosen silence. Others speak with therapists daily. They fear loud sounds, open doors, men's voices. They draw the same images: a room, a chain, a door without a handle. And no one blames them. Because while Josef Fritzl built a dungeon, he didn't just bury his daughter's body, he buried her time, her mind, her light. Evil in plain sight. There were no screams, no blood in the streets, no sirens. Just a man with glasses and a key. A monster who hid not in forests or dark alleys, but beneath floorboards. He knew how to smile for the camera, shake hands, say grace at the table, and still lock the door behind his child for 24 years. This is not a movie. This is not fiction. This happened. Sometimes the worst horrors are the ones built by family. And sometimes monsters wear the same face as the man who tucked you in at night.